Hello everyone, Basic Ollie here, hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to another GT Sport video. Today we are on my second account and we are participating in the FIA Nations Cup, I believe, or manufacturers I should say, and we are around Brands Hatch. Now this is a B, DR and SR rated lobby, and I just wanted to do a video where I show you guys what the difference really is between like a B rated driver, such as the drivers in here, and myself at this time, and an A+ driver. Now, if you watched my content before, you guys know that I am an A+ rated driver on my main account, but this is my second account. I made this kind of mess about with, but now I just thought I'd do like an FIA race, just to kind of show you guys, if I can, what the difference really is between a B rated driver and an A+, and what you can do as a person when you're on the track racing to get better results essentially and just be a better driver out there. So I'm going to go through a few incidences that happened during this race and what I decided to do, which ultimately led to that P1 finish. So I'm going to go through it with you now, but if you like this kind of idea, just give the video a thumbs up and let's crack on. Now, my first tip when you decide to go out qualifying, always try and give yourself plenty of room, because if you catch up with the back markers here, you're going to see it's all over the place. You're half a second up, you go purple, and then the car in front of you just completely and utterly destroys your lap, and that's kind of just, it's game over with, unfortunately. And yeah, you just have to back off and you'll have to start again, and you'll probably never be able to set that kind of time again sometimes. I was half a second up there, quite easily, probably would have crossed the line with 7 or 8 temps up, and yeah, it just completely ruins the lap. So the first tip is whenever you do an FIA race, or if you're doing a daily race, make sure you do the qualifying and give yourself plenty of time. Make sure you don't get caught up by any back markers at all whatsoever. And yeah, just make sure you do plenty of practice beforehand. Now, my second tip is to always adjust your strategy to the position you're starting in. For example, I am now currently in P2 due to the lack of practice that I had in qualifying, and because I got too close to a guy and it completely messed up. So in this race, you have to use the hard and medium tyres. Now, we're starting in P2. I know I've got the pace over everyone in this lobby. However, I don't know how dirty the guy in first is. He could be defending like crazy. He could completely trash my car, knock me off the road. I'm on the soft tyres. It's going to take me ages to catch up again, and it'll be a nightmare. So I made the tactical decision to start on the hard tyres. Now, what does this mean? Now, if I start on the hard tyres, due to the lack of tyre wear, I can start on the hard tyres on lap 1, get myself in the pits, and then I can get myself out on some soft tyres. I'll have plenty of clean air, and we can just overtake people for days, because we'll have the freshest, softest tyres, and we can catch right up straight away. And that is my number 2 tip. Always adjust your strategy depending on where you qualify, and honestly, it'll work wonders. Because if you're sat in P2, like in this situation I am now, honestly, starting on hard tyres was the best decision I could have made. So always, if you can, think about your strategy and adjust it depending on what position you start in. Now, my third tip is to just, when you're on your first opening lap, do not panic. Check your fuel, see what's going to happen throughout the rest of the race. Within half a lap, you're going to see from your fuel gauge if you're going to need to do any fuel saving whatsoever. When you first start off, because you've had a slow start, your fuel and laps remaining is quite high. As you go about halfway through the race, you are going to notice it will go down, and you can adjust it there. And it goes to show as well, if you are starting on the hard tyres like myself, or to be honest with you, it doesn't matter what strategy is, don't panic. Do not panic. It's the opening lap. Don't worry about it too much, okay? Everyone's tyres are cold, everyone's on different strategies, everyone's on different tyres. It doesn't matter. I'm not worried that this guy in front has overtaken me. I'm not bothered about that at all. I know, more than likely, this guy is going to be on the soft or medium tyres. It's not going to affect me. So I'm not going to try and defend like crazy. I'm not going to, drive so hard that I try and overtake him and make a mistake. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm just going to worry about my total race time. So the quickest I can finish this race. And that's going to involve not fighting this guy ahead. So we've seen the fuel, we know we're going to have to save just so marginally slightly, so changing gear early every now and then, like I have been doing in this race now, because I've seen that, and I'm going to put the strategy into effect now. So we're almost one lap in, So we already know that my strategy is to just do one lap on the hards and then go on the softs. Alright, that's the best strategy, I think, anyways, for this race with the guys in front of me. So I've now gone into the pits. I'm going to put those soft tyres on. I'm not going to need to worry about fuel for now. Okay, that's actually another quick tip I will say as well. If you're going to basically not fuel save, make sure you put all your fuel in at the last stint. Don't put it in before, otherwise you're just going to be carrying all around the extra fuel throughout the whole of the race. I would always recommend, if you're going to run out of fuel at some point and you need to put fuel in your car, always do it on last stop. I do anyways. Now, the strategy has pulled me out in 8th place. So we've already done one mandatory pit stop. Because we qualified high enough, we've done that pit stop already. So we've only got one more mandatory tyre to use, and it's put us out in P8. Okay, so that's pretty good. So we know there's only 7 cars in front of us that we essentially have to overtake, and we're only one pit stop behind it. If you look at the total time between us and first place, it's just less than 10 seconds. Alright, so to have already done a pit stop, one lap in, and we're only 10 seconds behind the guy in first, that's pretty good going. That's not too bad. The next tip that I will give you is to always adjust your brake bias depending on the car and the circuit that you are on. Now, I'm driving around Brands Hatch and I'm in the Porsche. Now, I know the Porsche has very good tyre wear, but if it's just one weakness is that the front tyres will die out on this circuit. So that means all I need to do is adjust my brake balance and put it to the rear. Now, what that will do is basically put more of the brake pressure on the rear tyres, and it will basically relax. It won't make the front tyres wear out as much on the front, which is basically where we'll lose the most time if those front tyres do die out. So I put my brake balance to the rear. It means throughout the race I'm going to end up with less tyre wear on the front tyres, meaning that my overall time will be quicker, and that's essentially what we're doing, is trying to get the quickest, fastest overall time. So my tip there, always adjust your brake bias depending on the track and the car that you're on. If you're noticing that the rear tyres are going off, oh, just about missed that 2TR. If you notice that the rear tyres are going off very quickly, always go to the front, or if you're trying to preserve the front tyres, always put the brake bias to the rear. Now, this next clip is all about choosing the right time to overtake your opponent. Now, that may sound odd. You may be thinking, oh, you should always overtake your opponent every opportunity. Not necessarily, because as we go through the first corner of Brands Hatch, it's straight away I know if I try and overtake that lad on the outside, he's just going to hammer me off, so there's absolutely no point. So I go for the undercut. I know I've got the inside for the next corner. I know I've got the better grip, and I easily overtake him on the second corner around Brands Hatch. Now, I could definitely have gone for the move around the outside of the first corner, but there's a 99% chance it would have ended in disaster. So my next tip there is to just plan your overtakes. Again, just double take and just think before you go for it. If you know your overtake is going to be on the outside of a corner and there's sand or gravel on the outside, it's probably best that you just don't go for it and just wait for the next one, alright? Because there will be plenty of opportunities in a race, so don't panic too much and just make sure when you are going to go for that move, you go for it, you committed, and yeah, you just go at the right opportunity. Don't kind of hesitate, otherwise it's just probably going to end up with you and the guy you're trying to overtake both off the track and both your races are ruined. Now, my final tip for this video is just to kind of eye your opponent up before you do decide to go for that move. Now, I've assessed the situation that we're in, okay? Now, from these clips that I'm going to show you, this guy is a little bit all over the place, okay? So his defending is very harsh, shall we say. He will make decisions very, very late, and he will basically defend for his life because he doesn't know that basically I don't have to pit again. So there he goes, he moves very late there. So he's probably defending for P1, whereas I already know I've got this in the bag. So I'm not gonna force myself to overtake him no matter what the costs are, because I can see that it's just the way that he defends. I know he's not going to let me go past easy. He's just going to defend until his life depends on it, basically. But we're on lap 17 now, and he crosses into the pit lane. He goes into pit. He's probably thinking, WTF, what's he doing? Haha, he's going to get a minute penalty or whatnot. But we cross the line here, and we've got so much time, we've got so much confidence. Actually, put the handbrake on, I could do a reverse over the finish line. That's how much time we had on our hands to beat this guy. So I just wanted to just give you a video, guys, for just going through the basic things that you can do to try and improve your FIA results on Gran Turismo. But there you have it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like if you want to see more stuff like this. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and want to see plenty more racing sim content. And yeah, I will, fingers crossed, see you for the live stream that I've got planned for Friday. We live stream every Monday and every Friday. But yeah, take care guys, have a lovely week. Ta-da.